Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. Last episode, we added some additional turrets into the kill box, and then we were oddly offered a quest to fight 32 hives offered by the leader of the Reapers, me. It's a very strange quest, but one that I intend to accept. So, what I want to do is I want to prepare a space for the insects to spawn to make it easier to get them, killed. So I am going to uninstall all the lights in here because the lights are just going to get destroyed anyway. And then I'm going to remove these steel doors. I'm also going to mine this tunnel out to this spot here, but no further. That is my prep. The idea here is to heat this area, these two spots here, to heat it up so that it is an acceptable temperature for an infestation spawn. And then to let the bugs spawn in, cut the heat, and let them freeze, leaving their meat and jellies intact for me to profit. In order to ensure that they freeze, I will leave an ability to mine out this tunnel here. And yes, that does fundamentally change the way this tunnel system will work, as we'll have another exit, because the infestation hives in an enclosed space will produce heat and heat themselves up, which is maybe not what we want to have happen. Looks to me like I need to get through the backlog of fine meals. All right, so Leth is prepping the freeze trap, and then we'll get all of the lights out and all of the heaters in. I'm just going to be using the heaters from the kill box area for the remainder of the heat, and if that's not enough, we'll go ahead and set it up so that we build more. Bash is going ahead and uninstalling all of those lights. So now, this is still an enclosed space, as you can see. But it's one that is going to be very, very easy to expose. And therefore get everybody killed. All the bugs, that is. Now these two spots here, I'm going to be removing the doors. And the purpose of that, if you're wondering, is to replace them with plasteel walls. To make it harder for the bugs to get out. I don't mind them getting out this way, because if they get out this way, big deal. They have an unbelievably long march to mess with me, but I don't want them pouring in through my power grid. That would be sort of a undesired result, let's call it. Bash, I don't want you eating without a table, given your current moods, so no, don't eat there. And I'm uninstalling all the lights, not because bugs won't spawn in light. They would. I'm uninstalling them just because, you know, those lights are going to get destroyed if we don't. So there's a fair little bit of prep in order to get everything ready for the traps. I'm trying to get all that lovely stuff set up and ready. And I'm not really micromanaging them. I'm letting them, all of my colonists here, sort of go about daily business as they work. But it seems like I might need to micromanage a little bit more. as most of them are not even really working towards the goal. All right, JD. It's going to be, well, actually, we can leave that ID there. Grab a... No path. Oh, I'm sure because it's probably already being hauled. Grab another heater. Yeah, we already have it hauled. I'm removing this door so that this entire chamber, if mined out in this spot, can be frozen. And let's get plasteel walls up in these spots in choke points so that I can more easily super freeze. So this cavern here will need to be heated up a bit in order to be eligible for the bug spawn, but we're working on that. It'll be a little bit easier to heat when I get the last plasteel wall built here. And I'm just going to hope that my calculations are right and that no bugs spawn beyond that point, because that would be a bit of a problem. But it's already looking to be the right temperature. Yes, I do think, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I do think we'll be in business once I wall that off. There's no real risk to the slag. It's not like slags are going to get destroyed by bugs. So now I just wait until that temperature rises above -17 Celsius, and I can accept the quest, and I know exactly where the bugs are going to spawn. And then I have a way to freeze them to death by mining out this compacted steel. So the trap is set. It's a very strange quest. Now, I was thinking about the rewards, and even though I don't really need the gold, I think the gold reward, as you can see, is the financially the most rewarding, and the amount of plasteel and uranium from the other two rewards is pretty paltry at best. I did receive feedback from Tomek. Tomek mentioned that it might be wise for me to have sort of separated stockpiles for the clothing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it in a kind of a strange way. So what I'm going to do is here, in this spot, I'm going to set up like an embedded stockpile. Call it clothes. It's going to be for 95 plus, excellent plus, apparel. Make it preferred. And that way it's going to be a little bit easier for me to sort through good clothing so that I can find it at a very quick glance. Oh, we are above -17C. So let's go and hit it. Well, I might want to wait until tomorrow morning. That way everybody is ready to repair and resist the bugs, I suppose. Now, if I... Oh, bye-bye. Cauterize, can no longer haul. That's fine. Now, if I just set them to haul a little bit, we'll get that zone set up. And we have cargo pods of naturamine. That's kind of a nice thing to have land. Gabe. Haul the naturamine, and while we're out there, let's haul the jade. You two night owls doing the night owl-y thing. Okay, masterwork 2. So, as you can see, the really good clothing are being hauled properly to where they belong, into this good pile. And everything else is being hauled off. And given enough time and priority hauling, we'll have a stockpile of, you know, the good stuff. That's an easy way to differentiate without, you know, doing too much else. So we got all of the jade, all the neutroamine. Nice. Psychic Soothe just ended, and bright and early tomorrow, I intend to trigger the quest and bring hell upon myself. Should be a good time. Instead of mining, I'm having Gabe and Leth. Oh, well, Leth should get warm. Ooh. Okay. Even less reason to have gold, I suppose. I could always use it as a crafting material, but this is getting ridiculous how much gold I'm being offered. Why are you... Oh, fibrous mechanites. Yes. Get you out of that hospital bed there. Well, I calculated the right amount of heaters, clearly. As it is actually toasty warm. Well, it's not toasty warm, but compared to ambient, it is toasty warm in there. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to use up the meat so that we have, you know, fewer unused stockpiles. And these gorilla meats can be merged, and this can be hauled, and then we're good. It all fits. So let's go ahead and simple meal for everybody but Bash. Bash is going through, I don't know, a little bit of a rough time, so Bash is gonna stay on fine meals for a bit because his mood's not great. And it's morning time, so let's accept for gold, as strange as that sounds, because I just got offered a lot more gold. But what I plan on doing is just making a whole lot of money from it. So there we are, the infestation exactly where we hoped it would be. And then I'm going to send Leth, you are not too cold. I'm going to send Leth to go mine the compacted steel. I could have made this a door. Made it a little bit easier on myself. And I have to make sure that... yeah, so here's a good example. The ambient temperature is negative 120 Celsius. And inside there, it's negative 2 Celsius. And it's warming up, actually, because the hives themselves produce heat. So that's why I needed a way to let in outside air and make this not an enclosed space, because they'll just warm themselves. Insect hives act as heaters, and that can be, well, deadly. If we're planning on freezing them to death, they won't really freeze if they heat up. I also have to keep an eye on the plasteel walls. They're tough, and they should resist a lot of the bug damage when these guys start freezing. All right, at this point, the bugs are now completely exposed to frigid air. Frigid is an understatement. And I'm going to be setting... I don't want to do anything in here. So I'm going to be setting this area to avoid. And then once Leth is clear of it, assign a void to everybody. We don't want to be getting close to there. They're going to be pissed. So void on everybody except for Leth. Now, yeah, it is negative. It's negative ambient in here, and these guys are going to be freezing. The way this will work is that the scarabs that spawned are going to freeze up first, and then they will cause all the other bugs to become hostile. And the hope is that by the time the mega spiders are starting to become frozen, they are too weakened and too far from the base to really have any sort of an effect. That it's basically an easy win. Gabe, why are you moving? Why is everybody? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, let me go to the avoid zone and invert it. Yep. Brilliant me. Backward zone. So we can just watch the hyperthermic slowdown and know roughly when they're all going to go kaputskis. We are about to have the mega scarabs pass out. And then the mega spiders and the spellopedes are following shortly thereafter. It looks like Bash is not going to be a particularly useful combatant for a bit. He needed some R&R. That's okay. All right, they are in official pissed mode. This was known, and that's because the mega scarabs have now passed out. They are going to take out their aggression on my heaters, and there was really no way to avoid heater destruction. I knew that this was going to be an acceptable loss. There is a valid path to come mess with me, and that valid path is, well, it's this. It's all around here, and then up, and then around. I mean, they're not going to get to me before they freeze. And what's interesting, which was just demonstrated, all the mega scarabs just died, I think. Or, oh, and now the spellopedes, their turn to pass out. So the hives don't stay hostile forever. They will eventually, or rather the insects of the hives won't stay hostile forever. They will eventually sort of reset. And now all the spellopedes are unconscious. And then next up, the mega spiders. And yep, all right. At this point, we are good for a bug clearing. So that means, Bash, you can stay out of this. That means sending everybody in to exterminate. Because the mega spiders are all, boom, unconscious. Everything is unconscious. If I go to hunt them, 31 mega spiders, 35 spellopedes, and they will freeze to death eventually. But insects go into a hypothermic slowdown where they don't freeze very quickly. Bash, you can just haul some steel. Let's have Phoenix lead the way here. So now it's just a, just killing them. That's all that's really left to do. I don't want to set too much on fire, so maybe Phoenix, you back up, do your own thing. There's genuinely no risk of these bugs getting back up because it's not like it's going to get warmer or anything. So this is a pretty easy bug clear, as there is no risk anymore. They're just unconscious, and they will remain so for the remainder of the winter. So we can take our time and clear out the hives. The hives are probably the most important thing to kill off so they don't replicate. But given the temperature, it's not like new bugs are going to be much of a threat anyway. There's nothing to really damage here. So it's going to be really easy for us to just clear them out with bullets. Or even I could, if they were set to hunt, have them hunt kill. So let's set everyone to hunt a little bit. And you two just keep punching. Because we can easily finish them off sort of simple way. It's a lot of manual labor, but it's for a big reward. Oh, don't shoot Leth, please. We'll focus on the hives first. Now, there is an argument to be made that you could hypothetically farm the bugs this way, but given how difficult this scenario is, I already have enough work to do in that way. So yeah, no, I'm not going to be farming insects. You could if you were mad, if you were absolutely crazy. I suppose, sure, you could hunt them and farm them for jellies or whatever, but yeah, I won't be doing that. A lot of micromanagement. But one of the wonderful side effects of this, of course, is I get to feed my pets for free. I also accomplish a quest for gold. So it is a lot of benefit, not a lot of cost. And, well, yeah, I mean, that's best of both worlds, right? Another thing is that these insects, now that I'm hunt finishing them off, they aren't going to be missing body parts. Not that it's a big deal, but it means that they will yield like maximum meat. Because of course, if we were shooting at them and we did damage where they, you know, lost body parts while we shot them, they would be worth less to us. Because if you shoot off a leg, well, you then can't butcher the creature for that leg. But my goodness, is this labor intensive. I don't mind. And also, even an additional benefit that I hadn't mentioned is that the storyteller probably counts this, I'm not certain, but probably counts this as a large threat, which means I might get a little bit of respite. I might not. You know, there's a fair possibility that the storyteller's like, hey, guess what? We're going to send you a giant raid right now. But generally speaking, the storyteller won't send you so many back-to-back raids. And this one was like such a freebie, but the storyteller doesn't know that. The storyteller only knows that they sent, you know, hundreds of bugs and I managed to survive. I feel like we're like factory farming here or something. Oh, Leth and Raptor getting sensory mechanites, which is unfortunate because I already had mechanites in the colony. Bash had fibrous mechanites, so now we have just mechs upon mechanites. Brutal. Another thing I'm going to want to do is to then eventually clean this place up and put everything back to kind of the way it was. Keep killing them off. They didn't get very far, I will say. This is the furthest they got. Basically nowhere. We're almost done with all the hives. Still have a fair bit of bugs left. There's, I don't know, 3 hives left, something like that. Raptor and JD are going to have to turn back soon, so I'm going to have JD haul one of these mega spiders. I mean, these spiders really aren't going anywhere, so I can have sort of everyone turn back. So let's have all of them haul big old mega spiders here. Gabe seems in better spirits and not quite frozen yet, so I'm going to have him finish off more spellipedes. And then, of course, I need to haul in the jelly, because the jelly is worth stuff. Let's put the door here. So I want to wall this stuff off so that it the jelly doesn't decay. And it retains its value, and I can sell it, haul it, keep its resale. This would have been really unfun to defend without freezing them to death, because there's quite a few of them. Even Gabe's mood is wavering now. Alright, so if we have sensory mechanites, let's just go to herbal with everyone so that we don't waste any meds. Industrial meds. Looks to me like, I don't know, 7 hives left, 3 spiders left. That's an easy cleanup. I'm gonna have Phoenix start coming out here. I just didn't initially want Phoenix to work on this because he would sort of set everything on fire, and that'd be a mess. Another thing I might be able to do is to stockpile my chem fuel. Get a decent amount of chem fuel as a result of processing fowl meat. So let me turn off my processing meat in any other way. JD's heading for that door. Or maybe actually this one. Yeah, alright. So JD, you build this door, because that one's more important. And let's go ahead and remove the roof over the beacon so that the gold from completing this quest gets sent where it should be. Gabe, I have you do that. Okay, so this is now indoors, which means that the insect jellies won't decay. Wait, it's not that quick. There's still some hives left because I haven't completed the quest. Yeah, there's one here. Is that the last one? No, there's one over there too. They're not likely to reproduce. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Pods arrived. And an eclipse. there's my gold. Build the roof back. And yeah, that's the whole dang quest. Easy peasy. I did lose some heaters, but one survived. One token heater. I'm going to put it here. Make it a little easier for our deep drillers to drill. Leth and Raptor are waiting for tending. JD, I'm going to wake you up. I was thinking about putting the Harmonizer in Raptor now that he's in a relationship. He'd be happier. But then, of course, he gets Mechanites the moment things start looking up for him. It's kind of funny. The cabling didn't even get destroyed. I can turn on that heater. That's kind of funny. All right. At this point, let's go ahead and crank out cloth. Strange as that sounds. And now I have access to this metal here. This here does open up the opportunity for it to become a vector for sapping. And I'm going to actually super haul. Because there's a lot of stuff to process now. And I might want to before it starts to decay. Alright, fowl meat is the food of choice for these hoppers. Barely call it food, but let's call it food. Bash here on a major break risk. Come on, Bash. What I could do for Bash, just set him to recreation. That way he stays a little happier. He keeps flirting with Leth. And what's interesting about that is Leth is a night owl. So Leth is not even scheduled to be near Bash all that much, but Bash just keeps flirting. And it's getting rough on the mood. We have a Manhunter pack of Beak Things. Well, I am going to stay inside. Phoenix, you're closest to the door. So I'm going to send you to close that bad boy. We're just going to ignore these Beak Things. So the Stay Fortified zone will allow us to continue hauling the insects, the spiders, the mega spiders, spellipedes, and scarabs. So there really isn't... This Manhunter pack really doesn't change anything. It's not going to have any effect whatsoever one way or another. 1,500 jellies. That's quite a lot of jelly. Oh, there's still stuff unroofed here. Build roof so we don't get pod dropped. And now, with all this fowl meat, we'll be able to replenish our nutrient paste, which went from, I don't know, 400 to 200 or something like that. Bash has a minor passion for this work, so keeping him cranking on the butchering is actually serving to be pretty good for his mood, as you can see. He just loves killing bugs, butchering them up for his pets. So these big things here are screw rotted, and they have a negative temperature tolerance of negative 140. AKA, these guys are not going to freeze to death. They're going to be a pain in my behind. Gabe and Leth, I'm going to take you off of super hauling so that you can start deep drilling. Because we are definitely going to want as much steel as we can get our hands on. I don't know what the amount of steel that's left there because well, I can turn this on. Oh, there's plenty of steel left there. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna install a second deep drill. The eclipse is ending. That will help my batteries recharge. All right, Bash. Looks to me like you need some rest. That's a lot of meat. And I'm also going to work on getting more chem fuel. So I'm going to just get 1,000 chem fuel because I suspect that I'm going to have so much foul meat that it will be in my best interest for me to process it too. Which means that Hippie here is going to be set to crafting and making chem fuel from organics. I still have a lot of time left before winter subsides, and we've already hauled, I don't know, maybe half or so. So I'm feeling a little bit of pressure to get more hauling done, but I think we've done a pretty good job so far. So very glad I don't have to fight those beak things myself. Beak things are very, very fast movers, and they would shred me. At least I know it. I'll just keep these doors open for ease of speed. It's gonna be one very buggy butchery full of foul meat, as you can see. That's what we gotta do. 'Tis the cost. And another Manhunter pack of more beak things. You know, Randy, you have a style. A part of me almost wants to trigger the mech cluster and let these beak things go to work, but I feel like I'd just be giving myself more work. I won't do that. Maverick gave birth to 2 little gorillas. Unfortunately, I don't think that they're gonna last very long. So Raptor got sensory mechanites. Who else got sensory mechanites? JD? Leth? Yeah, it was Leth. Okay. Just trying to keep track of whose mood is not great. Raptor, how about you try your hand at a inspirational throne speech? Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work. The manhunters count as hostiles and cancel speeches. Can't forget that. Sorry, pups. All right, so Hippie's back at it, making chem fuel. And soon I will do batch meals. Wow, it is even snowing. This is a rare occurrence for sure. Let's get Bash some medical attention. I have the heal root, so I don't really mind using it. And next one to go for a meal will make a batch. Hippie's grinding away. Be interesting to see the map all snowy again. It's been a while since the last snow. I think they all heard me that next person does the next batch. And as you can see here, not a single one has volunteered to eat since then. I mean, that's not really true, but it feels that way. Pretty pronounced where I have and do not have roof tiles. And an Imperial trader flying overhead. Well, that might be interesting, given the amount of silver that I have. So, Raptor, would you wake up to trade? So, the Imperial trader will buy insect jelly and Leviathan pearls. As you can see, the Leviathan pearls sell for quite a bit. I could buy... Well, let me really shop around. Stellar crowns. I could even sell gold. I wish they had better things for sale, though. They have prestige marine armor, but that's not something I particularly want. They do have... Oh, it's Mad Muttering. They have a mono sword, which would be stronger than the blade that Phoenix has, but Phoenix's namesake is, well, Phoenix, so I'm a little resistant to that as well. Unfortunately, they really don't have much that I would like to buy, but what I will do is buy the advanced components just to balance the trade budget here. And then sell the gold, knowing that there's a lot more jellies to be sold. Boy, I'm a little bit too rich. It's odd to say that, but it's very true. I am exceedingly wealthy now, which is scary. I'm not saying this is a flex. I'm saying this is a, this puts me into a very vulnerable position. One in which I don't really like. Alright, Raptor, I did see that you wanted to eat a simple meal, but I'm going to call it. This is all the time I have. I hope you appreciated my little special tactics against the insect hive. That's if you have the opportunity to fight them in the winter, and that is definitely how to do it. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.